Hello everybody, my name is Sachin Bhandari and you're watching the Story Co's YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to narrate a personal story with you. This personal story happened in 2015. It was when I quit my PR career to travel the world. I was really looking forward to go to Brazil, which I did on August of 2015. You know, the land of samba, land of great music, great food, and not to mention pretty women, right? So I was looking forward to it, but when I landed in Brazil, I realized there was a problem, and it was a pretty big one. So like I told you, I landed in Brazil and then I realized that there was a big problem. The problem was that I could not speak Portuguese. That's the language that almost all Brazilians speak. And Brazilians can't speak English. So that was a major issue. There was a language barrier. I was out on the streets, I was talking to people, or rather trying to talk to people, but I could never make any conversation. So this left me in a bit of a flux. What was I supposed to do? This great trip where I had built a lot of anticipation and expectations about how much fun I was going to have, how many friends I was going to make, all of that hinged upon this one thing called the language. So I figured that I had to do something about it, and that's when one of my friends suggested that I download Tinder. Yes, Tinder, right? Now he did not suggest that because I should learn the language. He asked me to download Tinder so that I could actually match with Brazilian women and go out on dates with them. But I was wondering, without language, how am I actually going to go out with people? But I downloaded the app nevertheless for the first time in my life, and then I started swiping right. I mean, it's the easiest thing to do, right? I started swiping right, and suddenly a lot of women actually matched with me. And once they matched, I had the opportunity of talking to them on the Tinder messaging system, where I would use Google Translator and then translate my English words or sentences into Portuguese and start having a conversation. Now from Tinder we would move to WhatsApp, and for the first time, without knowing the language, I was actually able to communicate with Brazilians, and that did pay off some dividends. First thing, I went out on dates with a few Brazilian women, which was a good thing. But the second and more important thing was that while I was translating from one app to another, I got to understand common Portuguese phrases, terms, sentences, so much so that in a couple of weeks I actually managed to speak some basic Portuguese language, and that is how my trip was salvaged. I had fun, or I made friends, and I had some of the best days of my life in Brazil, thanks to the fact that in a few weeks I was able to pick up Brazil. But trust me, that was my puppy Kiki. Kiki loves attention. So without the promise of romance with Brazilian women, I probably would have never learned Portuguese in such a short span of time, with or without Tinder. Tinder definitely helped me learn new languages. That's what a lot of people don't know about the app. So that's why I say Tinder is a language learning app. But more importantly, I think the moral of the story is that if you want to learn something, you need to know what is the reward that you're going to get at the end of it. So if you want to become a better communicator or a better storyteller, one question to ask would be, why exactly do I want to do this? What am I going to get out of this? Once the goal and the reward is clear, I think it will be easier for you to put in the efforts. So that's the story for today. Hey, so 3 communication tips which are linked to my trip or my time in Brazil. I mean, Brazilians are really cool people. I really enjoy their friendship and their company, and I wish to go back to Brazil someday soon. So communication tips, the first one, smile. Now Brazilians have an easy smile. You meet them on the street, you have a conversation, smiles flow easily, so you always feel really welcomed in the country. But sometimes when it comes to business, business here in India or elsewhere, people tend to forget to smile. Now, when you smile, you are actually making the other person feel comfortable, and not just that, you yourself are becoming happy and are able to communicate much better. Now, why wouldn't you want that? I'm sure you do. So be conscious, remember to smile. It is definitely going to help you in your communication and even otherwise in life. The second tip I have for you is rhythm and taglines. Now, Brazilians are well known for their rhythm, their music, their poetry. I remember there was this one person, he used to play a character on a TV show. He was like a joker or something. And he eventually ran for office for one of the, governor's office or something in Sao Paulo. And he won the race, and his name is Chiririca. Now, I've heard this story many years ago, but still I remember the name because of the rhythm in his name. Chiririca. It's just so easy off your tongue, right? You don't have to stress too much. So remember, whenever you're designing any kind of business communication, whether it's your brand name, tagline, any program that you want to talk about, if you want people to remember it, make it rhythmic, make it easy to bounce off the tongue, and remember that it needs to be very short. So 3 to 5 words. That's my second tip, rhythms and taglines. The third tip is authenticity. Now, no matter how much I speak about authenticity, it is not enough. Brazilians come in all shapes and sizes. They have their own problems with inclusion and diversity. But I found most Brazilians to be really accepting of who they were, whether it was their color, their heritage, their sexuality. And that made conversations a lot more real, and I felt like I was speaking to real people as opposed to people who are inauthentic, and that definitely helps in communication. So try to be authentic all the time. It is going to make sure that you build stronger connections with people. So those were all the inputs, tips, stories for today. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. It means a lot. You will get to know a lot more storytelling and communication tips as we keep, putting out videos on our channel. We should also, if you ever have a question about communications or storytelling, feel free to ask us in comments. Me or one of my colleagues will definitely get back to you. And if you want to know a little bit more about us, we are the Storyco. We offer coaching and training programs which deconstruct good storytelling techniques into easy to replicate models. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments, and we'll come back to you pretty soon. That's it from me in this video. Obrigado, or thank you in Portuguese. And I wish that you get to go to Brazil someday too. Okay? Bye-bye.